Somebody better take a seat.
Well, let's see. Can I cut mine?
The psalmist said, Hine nachalat Adonai, banim sachar peri habatem. Children are a precious heritage of God. The fruit of the womb is a precious reward. When Jonathan and I had lunch in New York a few years ago, we were racking our brains trying to figure out exactly when that was. We never quite did. I never would have imagined that I'd be settling into a congregation in Newton and leading them through this happy occasion in Brookline.
Wonderful.
Also with my sister Eloise and her husband, Myron's brother, Jimmy. Our God and God of all generations, we thank you for many blessings, for the mystery of creation, for Torah and mitzvot, for companionship and love, for the warmth of family, for the joy and sacred privilege of parenthood. God remembers the covenant forever, the word commanded to 1,000 generations. Baruch atah Adonai, koreit habrit. We praise you, O God, who establishes the covenant. Also from the book of Psalms, Zeh hayom asa Adonai. This is the day God has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Rejoicing today is very easy for Marcy and Jonathan. Jonathan's parents, Myron and Joanne, Marcy's parents, Sherry and Elliot, Grandma Betty, and many people who I did not know were going to be here, and they will not. I will not make an attempt to name them all.
Yeah, you'll something out.
And if Zeke is not already equally joyful, which he actually does seem to be, I'm sure that in time he'll come to cherish this very special sister-brother bond. We know too that Lulah's great-grandparents, Ernest and Len, may their memory be for a blessing, are in some way also sharing in this simcha. And Marcy and Jonathan have some words that they'd like to share.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, Peter. And thanks to everyone for coming into the world, to us, to Marcy and I, that you're all here. And thank you to Bougie and Papa for putting this on in the house. It's absolutely spectacular, like everything, every event that you have for us. And thank you to everyone who's traveled so much to be here with us. Thanks to Marcy's mom, Sherry, and her sister, Michelle, and her grandma, Gigi, and to Earl and Irma, and to Zeke's Poppy from Florida, and to Riney from Florida. We've got people from all over, and we're really grateful. Thanks to Jim and to Fred, my uncles, which makes that uncles once second, third, second uncles. How does that work? You figured that out yet or not? Okay. We're gonna work on the family tree after this and get it all sorted. But the important thing there is that it means a lot to us and everyone's here. And thanks to all the friends.
I'm sorry.
I'll try to keep your attention, I know.
He's so adorable.
Okay, so many of you have asked, where did we get the name Lulah M? And we're at the naming, so last we can tell you. And it's a pretty simple story, actually. We knew that we wanted to honor the patriarchs of both families. So in memory of Jonathan's grandpa Leonard, we used the L in the Jewish tradition. In memory of my grandpa Ernest, we used the E for M. Jonathan's going to say a few words about Len.
Len was, I've always referred to my grandpa Len as a Renaissance man, a man before his time. He was a man's man, but an extremely sensitive individual. He was an army man, he was an entrepreneur, he was super hard worker, but then became an artist. He was a cook, he was an athlete, he was a family man, and he was well loved by literally everyone who knew him.
That's right.
And my grandpa Ernest was one of the most intellectually curious people, a lover of world history and an art collector. He was also a globetrotter, well-traveled. He was a phenom in the kitchen, especially if you like Wiener Schnitzels. He was a man of utmost honesty, integrity, loyalty, and generosity of the heart. And we hope that Lulah embodies all those characteristics of both her great-grandfathers.
Okay.
And for the actual name, how did we arrive at Lulah? So we both initially thought of Lulu, a whimsical nickname that brings a smile to everyone who says it. And we thought for a while that Lulu was it. But thanks to Marcy's pregnancy insomnia and internet iPhone research in the wee hours of night, we stumbled on a more formal derivative, Lulah. And we both instantly and together fell in love with it.
And in our style, and you all know as well, Lulah is pretty uncommon. In 1900, 0.389% of baby girls were given its name, and I think that was its heyday. It was then ranked number 62 on the charts, but according to the baby name wizard, it hasn't been in the top 100 names in the last 50 years. But almost every nationality, this is really interesting, almost every nationality claims that Lulah has its origin with them. So she's already a gal of the world and a globetrotter and an international citizen. So just to give you a taste of this, the Gaelic, the Irish, Scottish say it came from them. It means princess, abundance, lady. In Arabic it means pearl. In the Germanic folks say it came from them. It means fame, loud, fighter, warrior. In Latin it means bright. And the Old English even claim it as famous warrior as well.
So far for us, all the above are true of Lulah. She's famous in our immediate familial circle as the only female of this generation to date, aka Princess and Pearl. Amidst a sea of, well, 3 fabulous boys, brothers Zeke and cousins Eli and Leo. She's quite a fighter of the swaddle already, working hard to free those hands on a nightly basis, Marcy will tell you, particularly between the hours of 3 and 5. She makes her presence known when she so desires, not yet quite as loud as Zeke, but working on that one capacity already. She's certainly a little lady, taking her time to stretch and dazzle mom with her cuteness before she feeds. And finally, abundance. Well, Marcy and I feel like we have more than anyone could wish for with our family. We've got the whole world in our hands with Zeke boy and this little one. So thank you.
Thank you. And congratulations.